Okay, welcome everybody to AI Accelerate Impact. This is the MIT MIMO Symposium, focused on the adoption and implementation of AI in manufacturing and operations. So I'm Bruce Lawler. I'm the Managing Director of MIT Machine Intelligence for Manufacturing and Operations. And we've got Professor Bonning, who will come up in a moment and welcome you. He's an EECS professor. Also part of MIT MIMO. So our mission is really to find the fastest path from data to impact, and specifically in manufacturing and operations. And what MIMO is it's really a research and educational program designed to increase competitiveness by bringing AI into manufacturing and operations more rapidly. We've got three main pillars. So research, and we focus on field-based research, and so we've had sponsors like Nissan, Analog Devices, et cetera, that have funded PhD level research and for multiple years. We also collaborate with McKinsey. We'll give you a readout of some of that data today. Education. So we have a couple of educational forums. Obviously, this is one of them. We just ran a generative AI workshop, which AWS was kind enough to host. That was phenomenal. And then lastly, collaboration. Obviously, we want you all to talk during the breaks today. This is our biggest collaborative event, and during the breaks today and over lunch. And this is really based on the fact that if you're doing AI and machine learning in manufacturing, it's not as lonely of a place as it used to be. But people did, if you wanted to do AI research, you had to go to Google or Apple. And now we are seeing a lot more in manufacturing. And so we're trying to transform AI in manufacturing. So we've got a phenomenal lineup for you today. And one of the things I wanted to kind of ask everybody is, who's used ChatGPT? All right, yeah, of course. All right, so who thinks it's fast enough? Right, it types faster, right, than you can read. Well, that's roughly 250 words a minute, 6 tokens a second. That's pretty fast. But in our generative AI workshop, we were training agents. What do agents do? Agents make large language model queries for you and then act upon the results. And now you can have multiple agents. So imagine having different roles that you ask. So we did an example. AWS had a great example of a stock broker or a stock picker, and then just taking different roles and asking different queries. And you've heard about machine learning models hallucinating. So what people are doing is they're having machine learning models compete against each other to avoid hallucinations. So now all of a sudden what's fast enough wasn't, because now I'm programmatically driving these large language models. So how do we get out of this? Well, if you look at ARK Invest, Kathy Wood, who's probably the famous Tesla bull early on, she's predicting training costs to go down by 75% year over year. And we could probably argue about that, but annualized, we've seen inference cost drop by 86%. And that's really driven by what we've seen with ChatGPT and their pricing. And that's kind of a cost per token. So why does all that matter? Costs are dropping rapidly. Solution complexity is expanding, but so is opportunity. And as we go through today, you'll see that. We've got Paul kicking us off with a discrete part kind of manufacturer, and we'll talk a little bit about how they use it. Petronas will talk about continuous processes and how they're using machine learning. Right in the middle, we've got the MIMO McKinsey collaborative study, and that will really show very clearly how kind of risk is dropped, costs are dropping, and people are getting much better performance from their systems. So I gave you kind of that high-level inference dropping 86% year over year, and that's actually showing up now in the numbers. So you'll start to see that. We've got some kind of on that generative AI theme. We'll have Wojciech Matusik from CSAIL talk about the work that he's doing. Imagine explaining in text and having a CAD file generated. So he will show you how using a large language model generates CAD. He actually designs a quadcopter. So pretty impressive what can be done. Ben Armstrong will talk about obviously the impact of that on the future. On the next page, I'll get to on the next page, but we have Teradyne with talking about Industry 5.0, and they make cobots. They're the largest maker of cobots. And so that's changing the human-machine interface. And you'll see large language models impact that as well. So we've got that level of, we're kind of want to show you the whole diversity of the spectrum from compute to actual physicality moving. Great talk on what government is doing to help us, right? We all have seen all of these government funds, where they're going. So we'll have a really good discussion from NIST and a panel on that before lunch. Then after lunch, Dean Prokis will come, and she would have given us a welcome this morning, but didn't quite work out on timing. As you see all the little black limos around here, if any of you notice, there's some other people in town. But she will come this afternoon. We've got Tim talking about his applications at Arch. And then we've got Michael talking about synthetic data, one of my favorites. One of the PhDs of my team always calls it your old friend, synthetic data. And so there's another big change. We've all been taught that fake data is bad data. We're going to show you how fake data is actually good data and can be used for good to train these models. We then have two back-to-back, kind of bottom to top. So we have recent MIMO grads and LGO grads talking about their experience. And then we have C-suite people talking. So what's happening from the top and the bottom so people can get that perspective. And then I already talked about Ujwal from Teradyne Robotics. So I think that, between training and inference and implementation methods and top and bottom, we've really tried, and physical to logical, we've really kind of tried to cover the space for you guys today. And then at 5 o'clock, we've got the poster competition. So we hope you'll all join us right out here. And Petronas has been kind enough to provide the prize money this year. So we'll have a great competition. So it'll be judged. We've got 6 judges that will judge. The students will be here. I would encourage you all to talk to the students, ask them about their research simultaneously with the judging, and then we'll give away giant checks with prize money. So, Duane. All right.
So as Bruce said, I'm Duane Bonning, a faculty member in electrical engineering and computer science here at MIT. And on behalf of the faculty, I want to welcome you both to the symposium. And for those of you that have traveled, welcome to MIT. I'm one of the faculty co-directors for both the MIMO activity, but also its primary sort of sponsor, which is the MIT Leaders for Global Operations program. So you'll hear from both myself and my colleague Retzef Levy, who is the management co-director for LGO. We just want to highlight that LGO is, first off, a great program for any of you who are looking ahead early career for combining leadership, management, and engineering, which is going to be what we need for solving these kinds of manufacturing and operations problems using AI. A few years ago, we started seeing many of the thesis projects at company sites that our LGO students do needing to use AI or exploring the opportunities for AI and machine learning in manufacturing and operations. And that sparked us to help create this MIMO activity. This MIMO activity is crucial for bringing students, faculty, and industrial partners together for the mission that Bruce mentioned, really helping to accelerate and wisely accelerate the adoption of these kinds of technologies in industry. So we've got a great program for you, as you heard. The MIMO activity, this symposium is a key hallmark. This is the 3rd annual symposium. I also want to highlight just how much the LGO students have helped in both organizing this and helping us run it. And now the alumni who helped us organize the first one a couple of years ago and last year's are now giving back to also help put this on for you. So you'll hear a little bit about MIMO and LGO students. That last item is a great one, the poster session. Really encourage you to stick around and see what kind of projects students are doing, both on campus and in conjunction with our industrial partners. So with that, welcome. And I'm really looking forward to the program, and I hope you are too.
All right. Thank you. No conference would be complete without our sponsors, so thank you very much to Petronas, Amgen, J&J, and Arch Systems. Your contributions have made this possible, so thank you. We really appreciate everything that you have done to make this event happen. We also host this, as Duane mentioned, in collaboration with 2 other major organizations here on campus, the Leaders for Global Operations and then MIT CSAIL. Obviously, this line's very much at the intersection between the 2 organizations, between manufacturing and operations and computer science and AI. So we fit perfectly in the middle. It's a great series of collaborators. This is the team that I would like you all to clap for, especially Emily right here. Been an incredible amount of work to put this all together, so I'm very much indebted to everyone, Susie, that pulled this together. So thank you all. And with that, Emily, I will let you kick it off.